Hello and welcome to OT Weekly and welcome to a writing activity. So I acknowledge that my lines on the board are not the greatest, but we are going to walk it through so you can do this on your paper, doing tall, small, and tail letters. So before we go into that, we want to notice the lines. So there's your top of the line, the bottom, and the middle. And then there's the invisible line that's in your brain. So the dirt line that kind of goes underneath this space. So that when you're drawing a letter that has a tail, it comes out and hits that space. So that's your invisible line. You're just thinking about it. So when it goes below, that's one that has a tail. So we're going to start with our tail letters. So that invisible line, I'm thinking about it. So we're going to start with letter G. So G, you start at that middle point at your dotted line. You start at the top. You make your circle. You come back up and you go all the way down to the invisible line to give it a tail. The next letter is a tail letter is letter J. Start at your dotted line, you come all the way down in line with that G and make sure you give it a dot on top. The dot floats in between the middle and the top lines. Next is letter P. Letter P, start at the dotted line, take your line all the way down and then make your curve. And your curve is facing this way, towards the right. The next is a Q, where your curve will be facing towards the left. Your Q, you'll start with your circle. So starting your circle at the top. So if you think about your P starting with a line and your Q starts with a circle, that might help you. So start at your Q, making your circle, coming back up, go all the way down and give it a tail. All right, the final tail letter is letter Y. Start at the dotted line, give your line down, go back to the dotted line, come all the way back down. These are your tail letters. G, J, P, Q, and Y. So, you know that those all should go below the lines. The only part that comes above is the dot of the J, and that's only for your lowercase. All right, next we're going to talk about the tall letters, the letters that go all the way up to the top of your line. All right, so we're going to start with letter B. Start at the top. You always start at the highest point of your letter. So start at the top. My green doesn't want to work today. Hold on a moment. Let me get a different green. Start at the top. Come all the way down. Bring it back up to make your circle. B goes all the way to the top. And it's facing towards your right. Letter D is going to be facing towards the left. You'll start this one at the top and make your circle. Letter B and letter D facing each other. And the next letter F, you're going to start at the top, make your curve, come all the way down, then your line across comes and matches up with your middle line. So top all the way to the bottom touches on the middle. Same with B and D, top to bottom touches on the middle. So if you can kind of think that as you're writing. Letter H is next. Okay. Letter H, you're going to start at the top, bring it down, and you're going to make your curve coming back up to the line and go back down. Letter H. Letter K is our next tall letter. It comes all the way to the top, down to the bottom, and it stays now below this middle line to bring it back in and down. In and down. And those are two diagonal lines. So straight line down, diagonal line. And notice I didn't leave a lot of space. I'm not using finger spacing right now, which we can go over in another video. But it's okay. Got enough space in between. It just looks like a lot less from far away. Always got to check. Letter L, you start at the top, come all the way to the bottom. Touches the top and the bottom. That is the rule with the tall letters. They touch both, always. And letter T, start at the top, all the way down, and the middle lines line up. So my T going across, it lines up. Okay, this bottom row is reserved for our small or our short letters. I'm going to do them in a different color. Now you have the most short letters in the alphabet, so we're going to give it a go, see what happens here. I'm going to kind of come down a little bit so I can be in a better spot here. I'm going to start with letter A, make a circle, come back up, bring it down. Letter A. C, we often call that our magic letter because a lot of letters start from that same place. So C coming all the way down and around. And there's a gap here, so you want to make sure that there's enough space. Letter E, you can do your letter C and then give it a hat. That's a nice way to write your E. Notice they all are staying below. They touch the bottom line and the middle. So short letters touch the bottom and the middle, tall touch the top and the bottom, and tail letters touch the middle and the invisible line. So they all have different friends that they're touching on. Okay, letter I comes underneath the middle and the dot is separate. The dot comes up above. So for I and for J, the dot is above. So keep that in mind. After letter I, we have letter M. Start making your line, come all the way back up, curve and curve. Letter M, next letter N. Start at the line, bring it all the way down, come back up, make your curve. Okay, letter O is one of those magic C letters where you can start with the C and just continue. So let's start with our C and close it up. Everything underneath that line. Okay, after our O, it's letter R. Letter R starts at the top, comes all the way down, bring it back up and make your curve, keeping it below the line. Okay, you might be getting sick of hearing that phrase, but if you repeat it, your brain will want to remember it. Letter S, double curve, starting at the top, coming all the way down. That one's a hard one to do, the double curve. Letter U, start at the top, come all the way down, bring it back up. Sometimes you'll see a line down and sometimes you won't, but we're going to practice with our line down. Right. Letter V is a lot like U, but it's two diagonals. So U is a curve, V is two diagonals. Start underneath that middle line, bring it to the bottom, and then bring it back up. So notice the difference here, the curve and the angle. It's small enough, but you've got two diagonals, curve. It's a small difference, but once you find it, you won't forget it. All right, W is next, which is basically like two letter V's. So we're going to do our two letter V's a little bit smaller, almost back up to the top, bring it back up. That's letter W. So you can also bring this middle point to touch the top of the line back down. That's an easier one to remember and a little bit neater. So W and X and Z are our last two. So X is two lines across, diagonal down, starting from the top, going to the bottom, start at the top, go to the bottom. X is a hard one to do. And letter Z, start at the top, diagonal down, and bring it across. Okay, so check it out. These are your letters separated by their space, their height. So their size, all of those things. Tail letters, tall letters, small letters. Once again, let's review that the tail letters touch the middle and the invisible line. The tall letters touch the top and the bottom, and most of them have a spot on the middle. And your small letters are from the middle and down. The only exceptions are I, over here, and J, that have a dot that goes above. Now, this could help you out. Hopefully it will. And I hope to see you guys soon. Until next time.